Hi, we're the huge movie fanatics here to review the sequel to American Pie, cleverly titled American Pie 2. That always bugs me. I hate that. I hate that so much. But anyway, I think I'll go into that tangent for like the Scream movies.
What would you have called it, Mr. I Hate That So Much?
I don't know. The original title was American Pie 2 Band Camp or something like that, which eventually went on to become the title for one of their damn spin-off movies.
Yeah.
But anyway, this one is my favorite of the American Pie movies. It took what the first one did and it bettered it just a little bit. It stayed strong focus on the characters. All the characters who grew and changed through the course of the first one grow and change again throughout the course of this one. And that's something that's kind of rare, and especially a teen titty film. That's how Universal markets these movies. That's like their literal lingo.
Is that, well, how do you know? You've been there?
No, the Mallrats DVD, they have the Universal people who Universal puts these movies out. They said that they hired Kevin Smith because they wanted to make a teen titty picture like back in the day, back in the 80s with Porky's. They wanted a smart Porky's. But anyway, so this is a teen titty genre. This one is really, really good. This one, it's the funniest of the movies, I think, without a question. I can still sit down and watch it, having years passed, and like I'll watch the first movie, and there's not really a whole lot of really huge ha 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 like out loud laughs in the first movie outside of that opening scene. It's just more like you smile like throughout the thing, and you're pleasantly surprised by the end. This one, you laugh out loud a lot. There's a lot of like good laugh out loud moments, and the opening scene in this one, I think, is probably my favorite of the opening scenes, where Jim's dad walks in and he's trying to make nice with Jim's possible girlfriend and whatnot, even though it's like the worst possible timing. And you have the villain from Darkman, who's there as her father. I can't remember, but
I want to say Larry Drake. I don't
avert your eyes! Like his delivery.
Dr. Giggles.
Yeah, his delivery on that is just so funny. And like it's just, they must have been friends with him or something, because it's like a 2-second cameo. You blink or you miss him, kind of thing. But all the characters are really great. I love the progression of Jim's character in this, and I love that they didn't turn Oz into a dick. Like, they had the opportunity to turn Oz into a dick, because Stifler's trying to get him to be with other women and test the waters, but he really just only wants to be with his one girl.
Oh, that's right. It's that law. She's in Europe or something.
Yeah, she's
right?
in Europe, and so the
phone
filmmaker a typical filmmaker would want to like create some interesting dynamic where, well, they both go off and they experience others, and then they come back and realize that they were meant for each other. They didn't. They hinted at it, and they were like, no, this character, he wouldn't do that. She wouldn't do that. So, like, I was like,
yeah, that was really
great.
cool. And some of because of it, some of that phone, I can't remember.
Oh, the phone sex stuff is so funny.
There was something that was funny. What was it?
Stifler is on the phone too, and
oh, that's right.
He's like, "Oh, come on, I was almost there."
Yeah,
that was funny. I liked that. I liked where they went with Oz's character. Not Oz, Kevin's character, because they established in the first one he's somebody who won't let things go. He won't let the pack go. And in this, he won't let go of the fact that he has friends from high school that they're not really like that anymore. And he won't let go of the Tara Reid thing.
Just won't let go of nothing.
Yeah, and so I like that they kept that. That's part of like who he is, and I like how Finch is now obsessed with Stifler's mom.
He spends the whole time building up a big explosion.
Yeah, pretty much, and that was kind of funny. And I liked where they went with Stifler. Like, they needed extra money, so they had to. They were sort of forced to bring him.
That was actually, if I may say so, for American Pie movie. I mean, a pretty great plot point, because you have this character now that they don't even necessarily like being around. How do we get him to where they're going? Well, there we go. And I thought it was a great way to get him there.
Yeah, and like everybody sort of knows that douchebag that you don't really know why you hang around them, but you do, and you can't explain it. So I thought that was kind of realistic. And then that's totally realistic too, where like we need somebody else to. Do we do it? Do we? Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And then so you get them to come along, and you instantly regret it, but you do it anyway. And I liked that, and I liked that they kept his brother in it, and that made for a kind of funny moment.
His little
brother, where you expect the mom to show up, but it's the little brother.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And I like that Jim is still wanting to get with Nadia, and then he realizes he doesn't. That's not who he is either, and he wants Michelle the whole time. And I really liked that. And the
Well,
ending
he
is
doesn't
great.
know that.
He doesn't know that throughout the
Until
movie.
the end.
Until the end, when he realizes.
But that is just so great because you as a viewer don't know it while you're watching the scenes either
Yeah.
necessarily. You're still thinking Nadia as a guy. You're thinking Nadia, and then it's just like, when she gets in the car and like
Yeah.
drives away. I think that's when,
When Allison
everyone-
Hannigan goes big eyes, like you can't help but feel for her. You're like, oh, like she just has this thing where she goes big eyes, and then
She
you're
goes
like, oh,
big eyes.
and you want to protect her. Yeah, the first movie had a sense of you didn't know where it was going. You thought you knew, and then it didn't go that direction. This movie sort of had the same thing. You know that like everything's leading up to this party, and you know that Finch is going to be with Stifler's mom, and you know that Stifler's going to get screwed somehow, and then you know that Kevin and Vicky are going to end up together, and Oz and his girl are going to like reconnect, and Jim's going to wind up with Nadia at the end. And it doesn't go that way at all. None of that
Again,
actually
like
happens.
life. I mean,
Yeah.
how you want it to go versus how it
Yeah.
goes. I mean, that's one of the main things that I give the series credit for.
Yeah, and it just seems so real, and I loved it. Because it makes me laugh and whatnot. I like the scene with these so-called lesbians, and they totally play on the audience like, well, if we're gonna do something gay, you have to do something gay first. And that is just endlessly funny.
What about? I was thinking about. I'm not too keen on the drink from the first one, but
No.
what about the shower?
The pee thing?
That wasn't.
That
That
was-
wasn't. I mean, that first drink that was really kind of
That
gross.
was- yeah.
Whereas the pee thing isn't so gross.
They did it so funny.
Oh,
The
man.
best shot in the whole movie is when he's like, oh, and like he's so into it. And John Cho is an actor I absolutely love. And the first thing I ever saw him in was the first American Pie when he was the MILF guy. I like that he's in all four of the movies, and they give him a little more to do in this one. And he has my favorite scene in this movie is that the pee scene. He has my favorite line in the third movie.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah, which we'll get to. I'll touch on that later. But I love John Cho, and so I just wanted to say that. But like the pee scene was really funny. This one was gross, but it wasn't overly gross. The first one, with the exception of the cum drink,
Oh, why don't you?
wasn't
you just say
overly-
drink.
like it was gross. The series goes down a grosser route. But
We'll
yeah.
get to that next.
Will get to that
But
next.
how much did I say? Did I say enough?
I don't know. I give 4 stars. Did you?
I don't know. Did I say anything about it? I can't even remember.
Talk about it now if you want. This is your
I'm
opportunity.
drawn blank. I'd probably go. What would I go? What did I give the first one?
2.5.
Yeah, so 3 stars for this one. It's very much like the Spider-Man trilogy. It's the same thing for me. Although we should say this. I'll say this also in the third one. Where I won't. I'll say it only in the third one. But I can say it in the second one in that the second one is better than the first one for me as well. And
It used to be historically that number 2s were just trash and garbage, and like you got rare exceptions with Bride of Frankenstein, with Aliens, something like that. But in the 2000s, suddenly you saw a shift where number 2s were always like unanimously the best, and I don't know how that
it's
is.
almost like the filmmakers, if the same people were involved in the second one, it was almost like the success of the first one energized their creative power so much that they felt like they knew they had an audience and they wanted to see more, and it almost like it energized them to do better. That's what it feels like to me, and that's what it feels like to me. I think did we both talk about back and forth? I think we'll just end. I think I said stuff about it.
You were agreeing with me a lot, I think.
Yes, Matt. Yes, Matt. You're right. I think I can't remember.
The super glue scene also was very fun.
Oh, that was pretty good. I glued myself to
Myself.
There was a lot of 2 is definitely great.
Yeah.
Definitely better. So there was a lot of great stuff. Just to save time, I think we'll end it. But I pretty much agree. Thanks for watching.
Peace.